I'm good. What I'll do, I'll turn that on there and put a bit more light up there.
More on me than on you.
That's all right. There we go. How's that? Yeah. Evening all. Hope you're all doing well. Let me take the hat off. Come on. That's a bit more sensible. Get the hat off. Let the glare come off the head. In actual fact, that's why the glare's on my head. I'm just going to move that one up so out of the way. A little bit less glare. See, I was dazzling myself with my own chrome dome. My chrome dome. Evening, guys.
Evening all.
Martin, pint of lager for Martin. Yeah, not a problem, mate. Got plenty here. John. Evening, John. Hope you're good, mate. Katrina, you're on the bus back from Mum's. Excellent. Hope your mum's well.
Birthday.
It's her birthday. Was it? Yeah. Dirty Faces. Hello, mate. Glad to see you. I hope you've all had a good week. Right. So, I nearly slammed my Guinness down then.
Oh, good old Dr. Pepper.
I won't shake my Guinness. In fact, actually, what I'll do is I'll go to that one, point it at the wall. Open that. And a slow pour there.
We are joined by the Wookiee today. He's on the floor.
Not my evening, mate. Yeah, Puppy has got free range tonight. He's not in the cage, as you see. He's got free range to run around as much as he wants. He's getting big enough now to find his own way around, avoid feet and all the rest of it. Although he is still a pup and he's been a pain in the arse today.
Yeah. He's got the wind up his tail.
He's taken it on himself to give as many people shit as possible, as Shih Tzus do. There we go. And a bit of a squiggle in the top. There we go. Smiley face.
Glass of wine and Malibu as well. Well, I've not been feeling so brilliant today, so I've had 2 pouches of Screech. That's the thing that stopped it.
Tommy's joining us tonight. You won't be seeing him on screen. As we've said in the past, he's an active serviceman and he'd rather keep his image off the screen. Although he will be out there, he will be making comments. And it is Remembrance Sunday in the UK. So, of course, we had the service this morning. I put up a little short. It's one of those days. I've cried my tears. I've had my moments. I've had my thoughts. I've spoken to my mates and pushed through it. So, yeah, that's that for another year. So what I will do, I'll raise a glass to the fallen, to their families and to their friends and wish them well. Right, that's me Guinness. I've forgotten how much I like a pint of Guinness. Cheers, Martin. Do you remember those days in the pub, Martin, when we were young and silly? Oh, yeah, they were fun, weren't they? Lager and lime, or blackcurrant lemonade. Dennis.
So, John, have you had a chance to try your brown sauce yet?
Salute there, John. Yeah. Brown sauce. Yeah, brown sauce. Yeah.
Proper brown sauce.
Yeah, HB.
Oh, yeah, HB. Proper brown sauce. We wouldn't send him out none of that.
We sent John
cheap
HP
nasty
sauce
rubbish
and Oxo cubes.
Yeah.
Oh, Oxo cubes.
Yeah, we're educating him.
It's a very dangerous word, Nick.
Plausible deniability for Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. In fact, he just denies absolutely everything. He's been in the military long enough to know. Doesn't matter what it is, deny it.
Yeah.
You did proper brown sauce.
Did you enjoy it?
It might have been a bit of a shock to the palate.
Brown sauce.
Yeah.
Everything. Mashed potato, pie, sausage,
bacon,
definitely.
Bacon sandwich with brown sauce. Yeah, that is like a tradition in the UK. I don't think there's anybody in the UK, including people of certain religions and vegans, that can deny the absolute glory of brown sauce and bacon.
Yeah, Daddy's HP, definitely all the way.
Yeah, so we sent out John a bottle of HP. Yeah, so yeah, give him a taste of the Houses of Parliament. Yeah, it's just one of those
Be
things. I mean,
bothful next time.
I'm not a big brown sauce person. I'm a bit more of a tomato ketchup person. But when it comes to certain things, yeah, tried it on cold turkey, make those sandwich first thing. It was actually pretty good. Yeah.
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 That goes well with cold meat.
Mm.
I don't think I've ever had brown sauce with meatloaf before.
No.
No, I don't think I ever have.
No, it sounds good though.
Yeah.
It does sound good. Could be up for that. Right, so yeah, where am I going tonight? Well, we quick tip of our hat to the Act of Remembrance and Remembrance Sunday, and of course for those guys that aren't in the UK, we don't just remember our servicemen. There are units, troops, and people from all over the world that were allies that are remembered on this day. Okay, it's for all servicemen, their families, acting and past, to have their act of remembrance.
You think foil?
Well, where did you get that from? Do excuse me, my dog has managed to find some foil, and he's at the moment making glitter. Aren't you, little stinker? Right, so there we go. Yeah,
No.
kind of reminds you of the Heinz 57 sauce. Yeah, go with that.
So I've got one now.
Yeah, got it. God knows where he found that, where he got that from. And as you'll all know, if you've got a puppy, if there's something that is out the way, hidden, you can't see it, they will find it. And he's down here amongst our feet at the moment, nice and comfy. He's got his little bed down there. I've no doubt you'll hear him later on. So I've done a video earlier this week and programmed it to come up for today without even thinking of what the date was. So for anybody that saw a video today and thought, well, that was a bit much, Mick putting that up on Remembrance Sunday, I do apologise. These things happen. Next week, what I've done, I've already put up a video and programmed it for next week. That's another one from in here. Some thoughts and ideas on knife sharpening and bits and pieces. Hiya, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Hiya, Sam. And I'm hoping to get out this week if there's a chance. We've got Storm Debbie coming through the UK tonight. Debbie does Dallas. Oh, Debbie does Farnborough, Hampshire, Surrey, and England.
And
Right.
Ireland.
Yeah, and Ireland. Yeah, it's double fronted. It's a double weather front coming through. Yeah, no, I'll wait for Mac to come up later on. I can appreciate that one. So it's probably going to get a bit damp and a bit wet. Might be dry Wednesday and Friday. Might be dry for Wednesday and Friday. Excellent. So yeah, cheers,
maybe
Sam.
up in Yorkshire, but
yeah,
possibly not down south.
Yeah, it can vary. And let's face it, we're a little island. We're a long island, not very wide. We got the Atlantic one side, North Sea the other side, and it can blow through like that. And yeah, clobber's a good one. Yes. Yeah, so what are we talking about? So yeah, tools and equipment. Yeah, I've been covering a bit of that just lately. And in actual fact, let's come back from that. So I did a talk this last week with the Scouts. So that was my 4th or 5th talk with a different Scout unit, and they've asked me to come back again in January. Yeah. So Scouts seem to be enjoying my talks, my mentality, and my sense of humour. Although it can be a bit difficult when you've got all those young faces gawping up at you. Okay, not to get into subjects that could be a bit edgy. Yeah, you got to watch the humour a little bit. Yeah.
Oh.
Got to stay parked to yourself. Yeah, that's nice. It's nice when you've got it all to yourself. You can get up in the morning, there's nobody else camping there, and you can get up and you go, do you know what? I don't need to put any clothes on. I'm just going to wander around as nature intended. You know, stand there. Yeah.
Bright and breezy.
bright and breezy. That's it. It's yeah. Sometimes it's sometimes it's just good to be stood naked in the air. It's enlivens you. I'm a great one for feeling the sun on my skin, the wind on my skin, and the rain on my skin. I've even been known to stand naked in a snowstorm. Okay, come out of a very very hot hut and just stand there, open my arms to the sky, and let it touch me. Let the
That sounded so wrong.
don't mean to sound like that, but it's how can I explain this? So you come out of a
Not
very
very
hot,
well.
very hot environment, and you go and stand naked in a snowstorm, and you can feel. You shut your eyes, you can feel every single snowflake touch your skin. It brings out a heightened level of awareness, especially in certain areas. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Just get back in touch
Yeah, as
with
Johnson
yourself.
said, they got ticks and mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to be getting your bits and pieces out.
There's
A
ticks and
target.
mosquitoes. Keep absolutely everything covered that you can keep covered. The last thing you want is a mosquito bite on the old gentle tailiats. It will, yeah, that's not good. God, I had one on my arse years ago. God knows how I got it, but fucking mosquito bite on my arse cheek. Did that irritate? God, blimey.
I've never been bitten, but I got stung once. My dad's a beekeeper.
Yeah.
So it's like me and him, before I joined the army, we used to do beekeeping together.
Yeah.
And so I haven't done my suit correctly. And bearing in mind, we only have suits that come up like past our trousers.
Yeah.
So it's like we tuck our trousers in through our suits and then do what you need to do. And like you even cover up your socks and everything so they don't go up your trousers. My fly was slightly undone. One's got in, stung it, and I'm running around like, "Oh, you fucking!" My dad's, what's wrong? What's wrong? It's like, one stung my fucking car.
Yeah, it can be a lively old experience. Stingy, bitey, nippy things. And I'm one of those unlucky people. They seem to be drawn to me. If there's something out there that's going to sting me or bite me, it usually gets me. You've tried everything over the years. You know, you use DEET, you dose yourself up with jungle repellents, eating garlic, raw onions, you name it. Try and keep the buggers off, but they still get me. What I do know, and I have learned from my experience, it's going to happen. Accept it, and just leave it alone. The after treatment usually is something like cameline lotion that helps to ease it, or TCP. I find works very well. Just a little dab of TCP on there.
Johnson
Helps to
said
take
you've
the
got to
sting
move
away.
back slowly when you've got things like that. Flock bees near you.
If I screw that, I'm going to punch my nuts. Either one of us is going to die that day.
He's settling in well, thanks, Sam. He's yeah.
Yeah, he's doing okay. He's doing okay. He's figuring it all out for himself. He's finding his place within the family. A little stinker at his moments, but yeah, he's doing all right, isn't he?
Yeah, he went to a bit of puppy classes and
Yeah,
shows
been
now.
socialising him, getting used to other dogs, people, and that. And yeah, he loves people. Everybody he meets, he wants to say hello to and give a cuddle to. Yeah, cool.
Oh,
Move back slowly from Mick standing in the snow.
yeah.
Yeah.
It has been known to do it when we've had thunderstorms as well, standing there.
Yeah, I am one of them crazy people who loves the thunderstorm, will go out and stand in the rain, especially on a scalding hot day. It starts to hammer down, and you're like, yeah, I've been waiting for this, clear the air.
It's good for your skin to get it wet, anyway.
It is good. It is good. And it's like cold water immersion, okay?
Good evening, Sticks.
There is something, oh yeah, Sticks. There is something very, very enlivening, invigorating about a cold shower, okay? I like to have if I have a shower, or when I have a shower, so it's like I do it once a year. Well, about August, I have a shower. Now, I have a shower, scalding hot shower, as hot as I can get it, or as hot as I can stand it. I have a real good scrub up, sort myself out, and then I like to just take the temperature down, take it down about halfway, and then last 2 minutes, just turn it to cold, let that hit you, because you're a bit of a, but it's good for you. Boosts the immune system, hardens the arteries, makes all the muscles feel good, tightens the skin up, makes you feel alive, releases endorphins, releases a little bit of adrenaline, makes you feel fantastic. And then about 4 hours later, you sit there and think, why did I do that? I got the sniffles, but
It actually
you gotta
kills
take it.
the stupid out of
It's
people.
actually a great way of losing weight as well.
You say that.
Well, no, there's a Swedish or Nordic way of doing it where it's like you jump in a tub of like ice cold water.
Yeah.
Then you jump back into like a sauna or a hot water bath, and then you switch between the two, so it releases your muscles,
Yeah.
like slows your heart rate down. Get back in the cold water, heart rate then goes back up.
It's gets your metabolic rate going.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
well, let's face it, that's what our ancestors did quite naturally, because they didn't have the modern convenience of modern clothing,
Yeah.
heating, shelter, and all that. So pretty much they probably spent the majority of their time. Their idea of being warm was at an ambient temperature
Doing ice cold
and-
baths and
in the winter.
rivers and
Yeah,
streams.
and it was good for you. Good for you. It's what you needed. It's that Guinness is going down quickly, and it's going down well tonight. I might even end up with a second can.
Oh dear, God
Ooh,
help us all.
yeah. God help us all. Yeah. So, what have you all been up to this week? What's it been like where you are? What's the temperature like? What are the conditions like? What are your plans for the week? Anybody got anything interesting going on? We know John's getting excited because he's very soon heading out for use the heated stainless steel a bit above the body temperature, then press on the Mozzie bite to stop the itching. Back a teaspoon or tips. Tip of your sack. Is that a sack moderator? I used to use sacks myself. I used to use that for my I used to have a sack moderator on my CZ rifle. Brilliant bit of kit. Absolutely brilliant. Cold, wet,
But it's,
windy, cold.
yeah, but it
again.
is autumn. It's
that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to accept it. I mean, the other
You
thing
can't
is,
be like hibernate like dormoise.
it's like winter coats. Okay, so years ago when I had a little bit more up on top, come the winter, I was used to grow my hair a little bit longer, and more often than not, I grow a beard full set through the winter, and I allow the ruff around my neck to grow a little bit, and it just helps keep you warm and comfortable.
It's not your
Summer,
sack.
take it down.
It's a Swiss Army knife, love.
A Swiss Army knife.
You thought he meant
Sack moderator.
no. I thought you meant his.
No, wouldn't go there. Wouldn't go there.
That's what I thought.
See, I'm not the only one.
No, I'm
Yeah.
dirty minded.
Yeah, so it's where was I? Yeah, so use your natural environment, isn't it? It's in it. Cool, bit blimey then.
Count number 3.
Camp number 3, mate. You'll find it. Honestly, you will. The other thing is sticks. Contact people. Okay, speak to people. You'd be surprised how many farmers, landowners, and that out there would rather have you in their bit of private woodland doing your little thing and helping them keep an eye on it, and doing and offering a little bit of maintenance in return for being allowed to do your filming and that in the
Especially if
corner.
they've got birds.
Yeah.
They'd be happy to know that someone's in the
It's always a bonus to them. It's just a matter of making that initial introduction, and it's a pain. You will get turned down time and time again, but keep plodding at it. It's exactly how I did it. I literally speak to people and say, all I want, I'll leave no mess. I'll leave nothing. I normally start by turning around and say, look, there won't be a trace. Every day when I leave, there's going to be no single trace of me being in the woods. However, all I look for is somewhere where I can set up a tarp shelter, make a brew, demonstrate what I want to demonstrate, and then I'll leave. And in return, I'll help you with any maintenance you want to do. I'll help you with the security of the site. If we start to get an issue or you think you've got an issue, you can phone me. I'll come straight down and help you. You go. And offer that sort of service in return. And it can take days and days of heartbreaking phone calls, messaging, and that contacting people. But eventually, you'll find somebody who'll say, "Look, come down and have a chat." Yeah? Go down and have a chat, and that's how you get a bit of private connection. Okay, the first one you get might not be the perfect site, but you deal with that, and you make friends, and you push through it with them, and eventually
It might have
it
have
comes
another
to
piece of land that they say, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what, we've got a better piece than that.
a couple of months in. It's like, do you know what? It'd be really helpful if I could just make a little fire pit area there, if that's okay with you. Speak to them, see what they're happy with you to do that, and then progress from there. Before you realise it, they're turning around to their other landowner friends and going, "Do you know what? It's a really helpful guy, and all he asks for in return is to be able to do a little bit of filming in the woods." Okay, and that's how you make the contacts, and that's how it builds up. Exactly the same thing in the shooting world. I mean, at one point I had probably a couple of thousand acres spread out over the southeast where I had rights to shoot, and it was exactly that method that I used. What are you up to? That I was introducing myself, offering my ability, always offer something in return, and every time you use the land, even if it's a case that they just say, just give us a ring when you're using it, make that call, thank them very much for the use of it, let them know if there's anything different up there. Even if you know that they've done it, either the fence has been put in or something like that, always go on and go, oh, there's a fence been put up there, or it looks like somebody's been cutting through at this bit. You know, that information is all helpful to them. 9 times out of 10, they turn around and go, yeah, we know all about that. That's John from up at so-and-so. He cuts through there. But, yeah, thanks for letting us know. Because, again, it helps them to protect their investment and their land. And the other thing is, you always have to remember, it is an investment and their land. No different to somebody, coming to camp in your back garden. It's theirs. They have to maintain it by law. They have to look after it. They have to manage it. They have to secure it. There is so much comes to it. People always say to me, "Oh yeah, it's just a farmer. It's just a bloody field. It's just a bloody bit of woods that farmer's got." Well, yeah, it is. But you have an accident on that land. It's private land. He's liable. A limb falls off of a tree and cracks you on the head. He's liable. So again, it comes down to things like insurance policies, safety and security. If you have permission to be, I mean, even in the UK, even if you don't have permission to be on that land, and you're injured on that land, the landowner is held liable. Okay, so even if you're a trespasser or a poacher, and you shouldn't be there, and you get hurt, you can sue, which I personally think is bloody ridiculous. However, that's just the way the law is. So again, seek that permission and offer to help. Even if it's just keeping an eye on things, or maybe even doing a little bit of woodland management, or helping with a bit of fencing. Okay, it all helps. And eventually, if you can get your foot in through one door, all these landowners speak. They all have their own little community. They all know there's a guy next door and a guy beyond that, and so on and so on. And the word about you will spread. Okay, that's how you get it. And admittedly, it is a little bit cap in hand. Some people find that a little bit difficult, but that's just the way it is. If somebody turned up at your house and said, "Can I camp
your garden?"
Yeah, can I camp in your garden? I guarantee you'd be like, a bit weird. But again, it's how it's put forward. So that's my tip there. And people say to me, it's worked for me. Okay, I've got 4 sites that are private that I can use. Okay, and I don't always use the private sites. I sometimes go up into public woodland. I sometimes go up onto commons and things like that and do it. It is worth a try. And I'll be honest with you, mate, it's not easy. You'll get more knockbacks than you get acceptance, but you just got to keep plugging at it, pushing at it. Another one that you can do, which is a way of getting in, find out where the local shoots are, and volunteer to beat. So look, I'm prepared to come up and be a beater, not being funny, you get paid for it, ain't a lot, right? But you'll get an introduction to people. You get to meet other people that work the land, gamekeepers, and so on and so on. Once they get to know you, they get a chance to chat to you. You get to tell them your story, what you're up to, and all the rest of it. There's your niche. There's you just opening the door a little bit. Okay. So yeah, any way in, another one you can do, and you're good at what you do. Go speak to your local scout group. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing talks for the local scouts. I go along to talks about bushcraft survival. I'm prepared to go up and show some of my techniques and my methods to them. And in return, right, I'll ask them next year, is it okay if I use your scout site? Okay, can I come up and use your
There's quite a
scout
few.
campsite? And there's another way into getting permission to have somewhere where you can go and set up a camp, something like that. Okay, but again, you've got to give something to get something back. So speak to your local scouts. They're a great bunch anyhow. I have an awesome time giving my talks and that to the scouts. They thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy it, and the enthusiasm and feedback that I get from them is fantastic. So there's another one.
Another
So-
way to think about it is if you tear them down, then there's always a reason for something, and it always means there's something better coming up.
Oh yeah.
So don't get disheartened if you keep saying it's no, 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 because that no will turn into a yes, and that yes will be the perfect situation for you to carry on doing what you want to do.
Like I say, Scouts is a great organisation. They're always looking for people to volunteer to do a little bit of helping. So again, look at that. It's a chance to get yourself somewhere there where you can light a fire, where you can build a camp, where you can do your thing. Have a chat to them, see where it goes. And I always look at it this way: it's the worst thing that anybody can ever say to me in that situation is no. Okay, not a problem. I still remain polite. I still thank them for listening to me and hearing me out. And I always finish off, but you've got my contact number. If you did need a help or a hand one day, don't hesitate, give me a shout. I'll be here. Because again, it could be no today. 2 weeks down the line, he's got a problem and he needs all hands to the pumps, and he phones you up and says, look,
Ow, he's biting me. from the
would you
blanket.
come out and help? Go out and help. Okay. Even if you know nothing about farming, you don't have to be a farmer. You don't have to know about farming. That going along giving somebody a hand is quite simple, and maybe you'll pick up some skills that way.
One thing which I can advise is if people are looking at doing that, one thing people love all the time in any organisation, if you take a risk assessment to them, and you can find free templates on the internet.
Yeah.
If you take them a risk assessment and say, this is what I'm planning on doing, this is my structure, this is my risk assessment.
Yeah.
It's like people
Yeah,
love that
people
sort of
love it.
stuff.
Yeah, especially things like farmers, because it's something they have to put
Yeah.
forward to their insurance, their NFU, and all the rest of it. Yeah, you let the guy camp up the woods. What was the plan? Was there a safety plan? Did you let him light a fire? So again, if you show you've got a bit of common sense and a bit of planning and that, it helps. It goes a long, long way, doesn't it?
It's
Yeah.
like even when we go on training exercises in like Salisbury Plains, it's like what people don't realise is that a lot of Salisbury Plains is farmers' land.
Yeah.
So when we do exercises on it, say we tear up a farmer's land, we have to give the reasons as to why we've done it, what our remedy for that situation is.
Yeah.
So we had it one time where some of the guys, naughty, they drove
Yeah.
on his land and it wasn't part of the risk assessment. And we weren't supposed to take those vehicles off road.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't. I wasn't part of them at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like the farmer put in a claim for it because it's not part of the risk assessment.
Yeah, that's it. It is out there, and as Tommy's just saying, even in the MOD, even with the ministry, there's somebody that ran training areas for donkey's years. Guys would come to me. This is the exercise we want to do. These are the vehicles we want to use. This is the area we want to do it on. Can we? Well, no, you can't do it down there because that's actually tenant farmer's land, and he's got sheep in there or he's got cattle in there. Oh, that's going to really mess up our exercise. Sorry, guys, should have done a recce. Should have checked into that beforehand. One that I've seen on a regular occurrence is aircraft. One of the areas I looked after was used a lot for helicopter training. where they do touchdowns and takeoffs, and it'd be all sorts from Chinooks, Apaches, all sorts. And the area's mapped out, and it is a tenant farm. They have sheep there. There are areas where they are allowed to land and take off, and occasionally somebody would get it completely wrong. You know, they'd come down in the wrong field, and it used to get guys go, "Oh, what's the problem? We just frightened a few sheep." Yeah, you just frightened 300 sheep, like 200 of which are used that are lambing.
They're bought.
Okay, and they'll abort. Okay, that's a lot of becomes a nightmare. And it's the same again when if you're using a crossing farmland or you're crossing a farmer's land. Okay, stick with the right ways, because you don't know what he's done out there. You don't know if he's sprayed. You don't know if he's put chemicals down for the treatment on the ground. You don't know if he's got livestock out there that are not used to people. If you stick on the paths and the correct rights of way, okay, by law, he has to ensure that you're safe. So if you see a footpath going through a field full of cows, he can pretty much guarantee those cows are quite sociable. Okay, and if you're not used to cows, I know they can be quite an intimidating animal, right? Invariably, they're just being nosy. Okay, don't panic about them too much. You know, they're not.
You're more likely to walk towards them, and then they're like, "Hey,
Yeah,
whatever you do, don't run."
Yeah, don't run.
Because they'll run and they think, "What means running? There's something that's up. Yeah, that human's running, so I've got to run as well."
Yeah. So you have to.
They're a pack animal at the end of the day. It's
Yeah.
not a hunting pack. It's like if they see one of their own running, I'm not saying see one
They
of
see,
their running.
they see
you're
any
big.
animal running or anything running, they're like, "What it's in the field?" You
Yeah.
know, quick, it's running that way. Chase it because it's going to be safe. It's running away from the threat. You know. Yeah. So yeah, I know a lot of guys get quite upset about landowners and farmers, and they can get quite sort of paid off with it. But I've worked in that community and alongside that community most of my life. Okay. I've spent donkey's years working with cattle, sheep, forestry, as well as the military. I've been an outdoorsman my entire life. So I do see it from both sides. I do see the frustration. I do understand the annoyance that there's a beautiful bit of woodland up there that's just doesn't get used. And, you know, what's the harm in me setting up a camp in there? And I agree with you. There is no harm in you setting up the camp in there. But the land does belong to somebody. Okay, it's their property. And if you had somebody stroll onto your property with no permission and started cutting trees down, building a fire or whatever, yeah, think how you would react. Yeah, in all honesty, would you walk over and go, "Oh, mate, see what you're doing? That's awesome," or would you go, "What the fuck do you think you're doing, mate?"
Evening, Benny.
Okay. So, hi, Benny. So we have to see it from both sides. Yeah. We're all good, mate. We're good. Hopefully you're good too, Benny.
You're like foil.
Yeah, so yeah, always try and see it from both sides of the coin. And there are, it sounds like I'm saying all farmers and foresters are brilliant. No, I met some real arseholes in my time as well. There's good and bad in absolutely everything, just the same as within our own little world. And that there are people that are good, and there are people that are obnoxious. So
They'd be screwed then with us, John, because we're pagans.
exactly. Yeah, I used to when I ran the military training area. We have I don't know. It's the same pretty much anywhere. Live firing areas. Okay, so you have live firing areas where it could be a rifle range, could be an artillery range, mortar range, it could be a demolition area, grenade throwing area, it could be almost anything. And all these things have a danger area, which is really calculated out to take into account things like ricochets, projectiles, shrapnel, the whole lot's all taken into account. And then that area has a boundary fence around it and red flags in the UK. And every red flag must be visible to the next red flag. In other words, no matter anywhere around the boundary or anywhere on the boundary, you should be able to stop and see a red flag. Okay. You'll have signs posted in the UK pretty much every 10 metres saying danger area, do not enter when red flags are displayed. Okay? And I regularly, and I mean on a weekly basis, would have to get on the radio, stop firing, go into the danger area, find people, and it wasn't always just one. Sometimes it was a whole family with a picnic, and say, excuse me, it can't be on here. It's live firing. This is a danger area. And I've had every excuse under the sun. I've had, yeah, I can see the red flag, but it's not actually flying, is it? It's just drooping. Okay. I've had, yeah, mate. They just do that because the MOD want to own the land. It's at the end of the day, it's Crown property, and I'm a subject to the Crown, so I have the right to go through here at any time. You know, I've had every stupid excuse you could imagine.
We've even had one where we've driven past, checking the flags, and we come back about 10 minutes later, and the flag is gone.
Yeah.
And as we looked back into the bushes, someone had taken it down and thrown it in amongst the brambles,
so that they could
so
go,
go in.
Yeah.
But it's not going to save your life by the fact, I'll just take the flag down and just move it.
The fact is, some people as well, is I've spoken to people that are like going through Salisbury Plain. There's a long, it's called the South Transit route.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's a legal route which you can drive on, and it covers quite a lot of the red flag zone.
Yeah.
I've had people ask me, like, why can't we go in there and stuff like that? And what a lot of people don't realise is they think it's quite far in, like the live firing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It's like on the fringes, there are some ranges which have moving targets.
Yeah.
So if someone sees
They're
you
rifles.
from about 400, 500 metres away,
Yeah, like a target.
Yeah.
you look like a target
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah.
And so no one wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just,
And that's the other issue in the UK. So if somebody gets killed in a danger area, that danger area is closed. Okay, we're a small country. We have a limited number of danger areas in the UK and training areas in the UK. If the MOD has a training area closed, right, by the Health and Safety Executive, there's an investigation. It could take 6 months to a year, okay, even longer, whilst they investigate how and why that incident occurred. At the end of the day, somebody has always found it full. Okay, now if they decide to close that danger area or that range, okay, it's gone. It's gone forever. Will never reopen. Right. One of the things the Ministry of Defence understands today in the UK is to turn around to somewhere. You imagine this, and then turn around to your local area and say, we're going to open a live firing range there. Okay. Ain't never going to happen. Your council's going to stop it. All the locals are going to be up in arms. It will never happen. So the training areas and range danger areas we have, we do our damnedest to look after, protect and guard. Because once they're gone, they're gone. And the Health and Safety Executive says you can't use that anymore.
good evening, Mac.
Then that's a restriction. Evening, Mac. Welcome, mate.
Like Mark just said, he has to have a metal detector and he has to have public liability insurance.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Public liability. I mean, so I'm a member of the British Association for Shooting and Conservation, and with that covers my insurance. So if I'm out shooting on private land with permission, okay, God forbid there's an incident, an accident, or anything like that, I've got the insurance cover to cover me. Otherwise, I can't do it. I can't just, even if I've got permission on land, I can't just go and shoot. I've got to ensure that I've got all the cover and protection. Because let's face it, I hit you with a shotgun, you're a mess.
I'm not going to be happy if you hit me with a shotgun.
No, that's not friendly, is it, Tom? It's not very friendly.
I can't remember the YouTube. Obviously, we like to keep this channel like upbeat and happy, but there is one thing which I do have to say is I can't remember if it was with yourself that we watched this YouTuber that quite a few YouTubers go on Salisbury Plain, go into these red flag zones and stuff like that, and film ongoing training exercises. What some people don't realise is that as well, if you're shooting ongoing military training while you're on there without permission, you can actually be charged with espionage.
Yeah, that's another thing people forget.
And it's not just you that they'll then investigate. It's your family. It's your family history. Your whole life will be called into question.
Exactly that. It's in actual fact something
Even Lee.
a lot of people don't realise in this world today. where filming is so common. Okay, people don't realise that it is actually an offence to film a serving police officer in uniform in the pursuance of his duty without his permission, or military personnel in the pursuance of their duty in uniform, and so on, so on, so on, without their permission, even in a public space. Okay, because they're protected individuals
Pretending
for obvious
you crept up behind
reasons.
him without
Okay,
knowing.
anybody that disagrees with this, have a look into the rules and regulations of filming. I've just been through it all myself. For my YouTube channel, I decided I needed to go down, sit, do a course, and they are still protected. Okay, with police officers, it's not really enforced so much these days, purely and simply because the attitude is, what have I got to hide? I'm doing my job correctly. Okay, but with military personnel, don't film them. If you're going onto a training area, if you don't have permission to be filming out there, I suggest you don't, because as Tommy's just put forward, in these modern days, we don't just have our forces training there. They could be Ukrainian. How do we know you're not a Russian spy? Okay, they could be any of the multinational forces we get over here. We can't go into it too much, but we have lots of multinational forces from all over the world come here to train and train alongside our guys. So at the end of the day, if you don't have permission to film, don't. I'm not saying don't film on the training areas. Again, if you're just filming the bushes and the trees, fine. If you suddenly find a military unit, right, stop filming. Right. My suggestion to you, and this is never taken as bad, bimble up to them. Excuse me, guys, I was just filming down there. I think I might have caught one of your vehicles or caught something there. I'll delete it for you just so you know I'm not doing anything naughty. I was just filming my little video and all the rest of it. And I think Tommy will back me up on this. Most squaddies, most units will be like, all right, mate, yeah, not a problem. Okay? Or they might just ask, who are you? What are you up to? Right? They might be doing some sort of covert training, but they won't be rude. They won't be ignorant. Okay? If you approach them, they're probably going to turn around, and I've had it more than once where it's turned into a bit of a conflab, and I'm like, blimey, guys, that's an awesome bit of kit. Oh, do you want to have a look, mate? Okay, because there's one thing a squaddy loves to do is show off. You know? Yeah, they got a Gucci bit of kit there. They go just show some civvy and go, yeah, mate, have a look at this. Yeah, and again, that's making a contact. Have a chat to them. Oh, guys, no problem. Brilliant meeting your unit and all the rest of it. You know, they're always happy to meet decent. You might get, sorry, mate, can't talk. We're too fucking busy. Okay, and I will say, if you ever bump into a bunch of guys, normally in packs of 4, walking around with black tape across their eyes, right, just leave them alone. Just leave them alone.
Tell you what, that's actually one other thing as well, is if you're doing these sort of YouTube videos or whatever you want to do, I'm not one to judge.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel out there, won't obviously name it because I don't want to bring hassle to your
Right.
YouTube video, what you're trying to achieve. And also, while they go around what is harassment and provocation, it's like I'm not one to do it back to them. If you're filming on public land, like on a road or military barracks, it's obviously what you're doing is, yes, technically legal, but what they don't realise is that's still people's living space. It's like those buildings are where people live. And what you're doing there, well, technically is legal in the realms of the UK law. It's, if I'm standing on a public road outside your house, I'm filming your house.
You're going to get arsey.
Yeah, it's like I'm doing the exact same thing you're doing.
Yeah.
So why should should you be able to get away with it?
That's the whole auditor thing, which I'm not anti-auditors, but at the end of the day, come on. So you go to a military establishment and go and stand outside the guard room and create stink just to get a response. I'm sorry, mate.
It's like, I get it. People are naturally intrigued. Which is perfectly fine. I'm a quite inquisitive person.
You know as well as I do, the MOD's got a publicity system. And if you approach the MOD and you say, I'm a YouTuber and I want to do a little documentary video on, say, the military.
Yeah.
There's systems to go through. Well, they will actually turn around to you and say, I'll tell you what, we'll organise it, set up, and they will take you to a camp. They'll introduce you to a unit. You've actually got to go in with your, obviously say, this is what I'd like to show, film, and all the rest of it. They'll say, yeah, can't with that. It's restricted, this you can. But they actually have a publicity system to allow you to do that so that you can go along and do it. And the MOD these days and the military are very, very good or very keen to get good publicity from anything they
Yeah.
can.
It's like even the police. It's like one of the videos which I watched. They were saying that they've got a whole department to the media.
Yeah.
If you're
Well, you've been
interested,
asked quite a lot of questions. You're
Oh,
missing
hello.
them. Sorry.
Sorry.
That's all right. Right, Benny is stopping smoking from tomorrow.
Good on you, Benny.
Oh, well done.
Lee is a bit late because he was sharpening his knives and he got carried away.
Not a problem.
Respectfulness. Yep.
Lee, I know your pain, mate. I'm just repairing a chipped blade myself this week. So I've had to reprofile that and I've been sharpening that. Might do a little video on that this week. Show a bit of sharpening.
John,
So,
don't be like that. Our potato in chief that managed to take and post pictures of several of our SEAL team studs in the Middle East. Oh dear. Benny, Mick, ask him to nod if I'm correct, but it's he talking about the UK meeting the tyrants. I don't know.
tyrants. More tyrants.
Yeah.
Oh, it might be. We're basically talking about some of the auditors that.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
I
have
don't know
got
half
some
the
in the
names.
UK.
There's some of the auditors in the UK just.
Again,
I'm all for auditing. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for holding people responsible, but there's some guys that just go to
They just do it
cause.
to goad, don't they?
Yeah, they just goad the situation to give themselves some footage. And to me, that's just I could do that to anybody I wanted to. To be honest with you, I could go up the road here, stop somebody in the road, stop them in their car, and go, "What the hell are you doing driving a petrol car, you arsehole? Protect the environment!" Right? Yeah, you can fire people up so easy as well. But at the end of the day, why pick the easy targets? Why go to a military establishment knowing full well that the guard service are going to have to come out and go, "Excuse me, mate, can I ask you what you're doing?" Okay. And the other thing is,
And you're not taxpayer. You don't pay their wages.
as Tommy said, at the end of the day, not only is it an army camp, it is home for them and their families. Okay.
Yeah.
That is home for the wives and the children. Okay. That's where they live. That is their safe space. It's hard enough in this world having a loved one that may have to go off and serve in a dangerous place and risk their life for the freedoms that the rest of us take for granted and enjoy, without having some numpty stood out the side of the gate with a camera going, "Yeah, what are they doing in there?" It's sorry. Yeah.
Oh, let's not get into that one.
Yes.
It's like, well, to be fair, actually, what they've got there, what they've said there is, I'm all about people trying to get their voice out and voice heard. I completely agree with it.
Yeah.
But when they go to such extreme measures, and like, there's been videos where they've said, "This is the only way," which there's lots of ways. There's lots of ways, but again, that's a whole different video. And of course, as I said before, we like to try and keep things positive on this channel.
Yeah. Again, we do
just
try.
stop oil, and they turn up in big cars and that. And
Yeah.
Well, the woman who was out to stop oil, and she was caught wearing a t-shirt on a plane to Lanzarote.
That would be absolutely brilliant. I can speak for Mac there, John. Yeah, he would appreciate that. Now, the cups that me and Mac have got are European cups. They are, I think one's Polish, and I think the other one is
Guinness.
might be Czech. I think we neither of us actually have a US canteen cup.
No.
Well, you have his beer.
So if you can find us a US canteen cup and stove, that'd be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
No.
But again, don't put yourself out. Okay, don't. Yeah, please don't. And then when you get back home and you go, actually, I could do with one of those. Yeah, give us a shout and whatever we can find over here.
We'll find some more little English things to send over to you.
So we talk about military kit, bags, and issues. Right? And there's a word we don't mention in here at the moment, which is Virtus.
Oh, Tommy's look then.
Tommy does not appreciate the beauty of the latest issue
British
system.
Army.
Yeah, it's pants, isn't it?
It's absolutely like. Don't get me wrong. Like the whole research and development that went into Virtus is like you've had ex-army guys that have helped in it and stuff like that. But it's like from an outside perspective, I'm sure it probably looks absolutely amazing when I first saw it, and quite a lot of people in the military saw it and I'm like, yeah, that looks really great. Practicality wise, it's absolutely
You're not
crap.
having his beer.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like people are still going back to the old camelback rucksacks.
Yeah.
Or day sacks as we call it.
Yeah.
Which it's like
it's
it just works.
yeah. The thing is that you're trying to get too technical, too clever with it.
Yeah, it's what I said in the first video I was on.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it basic.
You're not
Yeah.
having his beer.
It needs a bit of a rethink, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's yeah, like I say, I've not had a chance to try the Virtus system. What I will do, I'll ask Tommy very nicely sometime in the next few months. Well, I'll get him to bring his Virtus system in. And again, you won't see him, but I'll get him to stand off camera and talk us through the system and how it works and what he finds good and bad about it as a serviceman. Now, I'm not saying that the new Virtus system is pants for guys like us, civilians. I've no doubt we can adapt it and alter it to make it work for us. However, again, this gets you the information rather than sort of going online and going, as I did this week. I see one up for sale, and I thought, you know what, that's cheap enough. It means travelling a bit of distance. Do I go and buy it? Well, after speaking to Tommy and knowing what I've heard from him, yeah, I thought, well, do you know what? No, I don't need to. I'm not going to. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's no harm in trying, Lee. I mean, I quite like all the bits off Temu. We've been pretty lucky so far with what we've.
Give it a go, Lee. Give it a go. You don't know, mate, until you try it, do you? And if it's cheap enough, give it a try. If it turns out to be pants, it's pants.
Thing is, what everyone knocks things like Temu and things like that because it comes from China. But the problem is, most things come from China.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so.
Me too, John. Yeah, so yeah.
So you're right, Benny's going to make a new cook set system.
Yeah. Oh, I look forward to seeing that, Benny. Yeah, Benny. And I don't take it the wrong way, Benny. It's just a term. Please don't think I'm being disrespectful because I'm not. Okay? But Benny is a hobo bushcraft expert. Okay, and when I say that, I mean things like hobo stoves, and that is the art, and it is an art, of taking basic and simple materials like bean tins and making effective, making effective
amazing.
cook sets out of them.
And your wooden frying pan.
Yeah, and
Can't forget that.
the wooden frying pan, which again was absolutely genius.
That's it. I mean, for 20, like you're going to say, Lee, 20 quid.
Yeah.
And if it turns out it's great, then it doesn't really matter, does it?
Tin Can Benny, yeah, and that's it. And it's about adaptation, isn't it? It's about. I mean, I sat here the other day looking at my wall of odds and sods and my shelves and
The wall's going to give way sooner or later.
Because you've only ever seen that wall there. Okay, so
You don't see the other one.
I'll get the. Okay, so it goes round there. Yeah, that's it. I've not got him on. It goes round there. You can see the shelf stacking system, and then it comes back.
You can now, though.
That's all right. No, it comes back along that wall. You know, it's.
You can't see. You can see all that lot. Then you turn it that way.
Is that my old medic pal?
Yeah.
There's
There
that
you
lot
go.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
That's actually one of the best day sacks I've actually ever had.
You're right.
yeah,
You're
that's
fine.
brilliant day sack. I get a lot of mileage out of that. So again, you know, it's
Yes, Stella, you noticed it.
it's a, yeah, I have a stack of kit, and I'm always looking for new kit, and I'm always looking to try things out and that. I mean, personally, my era was the old PLC, and it was good kit. It was good basic kit. It did the job. It was hard wearing, but again, you've got to move with the times a little bit, and gain information from others. Hi, Rachel. Hope
Hi,
you're all
Rachel.
good.
That's it. I mean, you've got so many different countries worth,
Oh,
and
crikey,
they're all
yeah.
for, in different situations. They're all brilliant.
I had one of the mates came in. He had a look. He said, "Blimey!" And he said, "Come the apocalypse, so you know where I'm coming." And yeah, and sometimes from the outside, I suppose it does look like I'm prepared for the apocalypse, but it's not. It's a love and interest and a fascination with the kit, the equipment, and I enjoy using it, trying it, experimenting with it. Some things work, some things don't. Some things are too fiddly, some things aren't fiddly enough. You know. Yeah, it does, Lee. It looks like we might have 1,000 subscribers by Christmas, and that
Yeah.
would be absolutely fantastic. If I can get it before Christmas, it means I can get these two items out to somebody
one of them-
almost like Christmas presents.
One of the prizes is up there, hanging on
Yeah.
that hook there.
Yeah, so you've got the tan pack over there with the red cross on it. That's going to be one of the
So
packs, and
heavyweight.
that's going to have a small first aid kit and a bushcrafty style survival kit in there, beginner kit for somebody. And the
Then
other
there's-
one,
Is up the brown one above the beige bag. There,
yeah, it is.
a brand new twig stove.
And you've all seen me use it on my videos.
It's brand spanker.
I'm always referring to it as the cheap Amazon bush box, which it is. Okay, so it's got a great little bag. The only thing that went wrong with mine was the zip, but the bag still works absolutely fantastic.
It's
So,
got a blue cover on it still.
right, I will leave you the pleasure of taking this blue plastic off, because it infuriates me.
It's a bit hard to see.
So there's your ashtray that goes in the bottom. That's your grill for the top. And your bush box folds out like that. It has a little ashtray, clips into place there.
So
And then on the front,
that's
you have a door for loading your sticks in. You have the handles, you lift the handles up, and the little grill locates on the top like that. Simple as that. And then you've got a little tray slides in underneath to catch the ash. It's a great little system. I absolutely adore mine. I've had it for well over a year. It's not it's not falling apart. It's not broken on me. It's very, very reliable. The only thing I will say, when you use it, it does go through fuel very, very quickly. And I had somebody say to me they don't radiate a lot of heat out. I'll be honest with you, it's not too bad because it's stainless steel. The socks do radiate out heat quite well, and it makes a nice, controllable cooking fire. And with a bit of practice, altering the wood, you can get it to burn
one of our lucky.
hot and fast, or slow it down and just keep things to a simmer. It just takes a bit of practice and a bit of effort.
So one of you
Well
lucky
done, Lee.
1,000.
Thank you very
Will
much, Lee. If his name comes out, he says pass it on to somebody else.
Okay.
Lee,
Yep.
thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate that.
The medic bag will have medical stuff in it. It's also got a ferro rod. It's got the blowpipe that to blow into the fire, and also a whistle.
Yeah, whistle, and we'll no doubt we'll find a couple of other bits and pieces to put in there. Little signal mirror, things like
It's
that.
got a compass.
Compass, yeah. So, and it's just basically designed as a little bit of a starter kit. So, hopefully, it'll go to somebody that maybe hasn't got all the gear, or maybe you want to introduce a friend to this world, and you think, you know what, if I win that, I'll give that to my mate to use, or I'll pass him on my older bits, and I'll keep the best bits of that for myself. And it's just going to be as a thank you. It's no more than my way of saying, cheers, guys. I appreciate all the support and all the help and all the encouragement, because some of the other guys that are YouTubers on here will understand exactly what I say when I say there are days when you think you've done the most amazing thing in the world, and you get home and the SD card's corrupted and you've lost all your footage, or you've gone out with a great plan in your brain and just nothing works. There's days, absolutely frustrating, infuriating days of it, and it's you can sit here for hours editing. I sit here for hours trying to make it look good, sound good, and it doesn't always come out as I wanted it to or as I envisaged it in my mind. But what keeps me going is the feedback. You know, when you get a like for something, or you get somebody puts a comment, great video. Even if somebody puts a comment on there saying not up to usual standards, I still take that as a win. So yeah, all the support and all the likes and the comments, I really appreciate it. Every morning I get up and I come in here. My bedroom is through that wall. I come in. Well, no, I don't. I go downstairs. I get a coffee, black, 2 sugars. I come back up in here. Used to sit here, light a cigarette, go to comments. Don't anymore because I only smoke these on a Sunday night. The rest of the time, I'm on my nicotine pouches and I don't smoke cigarettes. Yeah, it's going well. Not missing the cigarettes now, actually, funnily enough.
We haven't had the nicotine rage yet.
No, I haven't had any nicotine rage or anything. And I sit here and I go through the comments. Now, I don't always answer them every morning. What I've learned to do is to look through the comments. And now I wait till I've got sort of 10, 20 comments. And then I give myself an hour or two to come back, sit down and go, right, and answer them. I've learned to think a little bit about what I'm going to say before I say it. And even if you just get a cheers, mate, or thanks, mate, I have read it and I have taken it in.
Yeah,
There you go, look at
you
this.
say you haven't got anything, Katrina, but I bet you in your bag you've got, you know, things like paracetamol and things like that. 'cause
The
it's-
mystical woman's
yeah, the
handbag.
woman's handbag. You probably got
Yeah.
everything in there, baby wipes for Isla and things like that. Yeah,
That's, do you know, that's one of my tips. Zombie apocalypse tips. Yeah, that I've
Baby
always kept to
wipes.
myself. Zombie apocalypse. Okay, so you're walking through the city. It's been wiped out. The zombies have gone through. Okay, when you're scavenging, you're salvaging. Look for handbags. Okay, it's amazing what people keep in their handbags.
oh dear.
All right, it's absolutely stunning and amazing the amount of gear women have in their handbags that can actually be used in the survival and prepping world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
ladies' TARDIS.
yeah, the kit that they carry is absolutely fantastic. Yeah,
we
yeah,
do.
yeah. And again, when you look at, I get quite often if I'm doing courses for people, and I get the ladies that come on the courses, and I'm sitting there, and they go, "Oh, I haven't got any gear," and I go just sit there. I say, "Open your handbag. What kit have you got in your handbag?" You know, and, oh, nail scissors.
Yeah, I haven't quite got a parrot in mind or
Yeah.
a lampshade, but
I was somewhere, not in the UK, I must hasten to add now, where I turned around and I made that exact point. What do you carry in your handbag that you could use for survival? This lady goes, I carry Glock.
I haven't got one of those.
I was like, works for me, love.
But yeah, we've got antiseptic wipe spray, glass cleaners, keys. Yeah,
All that kit. And what's the guy got? A pocket.
no, it's not like got man bags, but
Man bags, yeah.
But there's more likely you've got those little iPads in there.
Oh, what are those? What are they called? Roadmen nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
she
are they called?
got
Like
shot as well.
fanny packs?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Lovely. She was lovely.
Oh dearly.
Yes, she was a lovely young woman on a course who carried a Glock in her handbag. I did think to myself at the time, John, I agree with that. There's a
Please
keeper.
one.
This legs was like a TARDIS.
That woman's a keeper. Oh dear.
And again, it's, you know, it's what do you carry with you? Everybody's different. No two people carry. Same thing in the military world. You go through two guys' kit. Everybody adapts their kit to themselves. There is a basic standing order of what you should have in your Bergen, in your battle order, and all the rest of it.
Even in Derek.
Everybody adapts their own gear.
Wallet.
Everybody adapts their own. It's not somewhere you can get a Glock.
No.
Maybe you can, but it's getting it out in a hurry. Everybody adapts their kits to themselves. It's right down to things like SCOF, first aid kits, emergency kits, backup kits, bug out kits. Everybody adapts it to their own personal choice and needs. No two people like the same food, like the same tastes, have the same dexterity, size, build, requirements, or needs. Okay. Something I've noticed this year is I have become very, very sensitive to the cold. Now, in the past, throughout my entire life, I've never struggled with the cold. Never, ever struggled with the cold. I was literally one of those people that could go out on the most bitter day in a pair of trainers, pair of shorts and a T-shirt and laugh it off.
I've seen you running in your jeans with no T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Running through the snow.
And for whatever reason this year, it just seems to be hitting me. I don't know, it might be that I'm just a little bit under the weather. But yeah, it's knocking socks off me. So, a bit of extra warm kit has been packed away in the car, and I'll make sure I've got a bit of extra warm kit with me just in case. Don't want to get caught out.
Oh yeah.
I was going to crack out a video this week as well.
This? It's got a Sierra Nevada, California IPA.
Was that actually from California?
I don't know. Let's have a look. See where it's made.
There's two of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yay!
Born in Chico, California. Right. Brewed in Mills River. Okay, USA. Right. Okay. Going for it.
I'm actually looking forward to going to America next year. Because I've heard, obviously, being in the military, heard lots of stories about America, and also the differences in drinking culture out there as well. So I'm going to Florida next year with
you're going to
the Mrs. Parents.
Yeah, you're going to go out and have a holiday.
And it's going to be interesting. So
there you go. Any of my American viewers that want to meet up with Tommy next year, he's coming out to Florida. Set that up. I might smuggle myself out in his bag. California IPA, a citrusy sessionable ale.
It must be the tea. Well, it's Charlie Bronson.
Charlie Bronson?
Yeah. He's.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the beer there.
No.
Like, what?
All right. There we go. Derek. It's like the most popular in the USA. I've been to the factory in Chico. Good beer.
The factory that make that.
That ain't bad, yours. I'm not a big IPA fan normally.
I'm more of a dark ale person.
Yeah, that's got a citrusy hit to it, but it's not too much.
Different in we've got different in the pub tonight.
It's actually not too bad. So I'm not really a fan of IPA.
No.
But that's actually not too bad.
That ain't too bad, is it?
What is the... It's 4.2.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, not bad session out. There you go. There you go.
So you've got a bit of America and England.
Bit of the US here on the table with us, and a bit of Ireland.
Yes.
I'm mixing Guinness with IPA. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll probably regret that in the morning.
I think you will. So will the dog for tonight.
I'll start howling at the moon. Okay, so my vote: Sierra Nevada, California IPA. Yeah, got my vote. That's not a bad beer at all. We'll go with that. God knows where it came from. I believe that may have been given to me.
I think your son gave it to us.
Yeah, I think my son gave it to me as a thank you for something. Yeah, quite pleasant. Quite pleasant. And again, it's one of the things I don't do on my channel. I see a lot of guys do their overnighters and do their bits with their beers and that. I don't mind having a beer at home. I'm not a big drinker, and I've got nothing against them doing it. But usually when I'm out in the woods with a fire and that, I tend to sort of try and keep my head in my budget next week.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, I haven't had that for years and years.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been knocked out with a bit of poutine before now.
Last one I had, someone smuggled it over from Ireland in a flask inside a big box of Pamper nappies.
Yeah, that one's not too bad, Derek. That's only a 4.2%. So yeah, I did check on the percentages with it.
You'll feel no pain if you drink a few.
Yeah, we get you get some crazy beers over here. I don't know about in the US. I don't know if you get things like Tennant Super Strength or.
There's one down in Kent called Black Dragon, which is a cider, and it
Yeah.
looks like Strongbow Dark Fruit.
Yeah.
Well, it's like 7.8%.
7.8
For a cider, it's like, oof.
Yeah,
I had it like 2 beers. I was like,
We haven't got
that would be
any
for the
at the
evening.
moment, but our daughter-in-law is Czech, and we quite often have Slivovit.
yeah. We have
Yes, that's
a
it.
bit of Slivovitz.
Yeah.
It's again nice plum brandy.
What is
Yeah.
I've got some Asahi here. What's that? 'Cause I just read Hang Tough's Be Careful with that IPA. They have high alcohol content. So I've got Asahi Super Dry, and that's 5%, and that's Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that was actually, I think, one of the second ones I had since I started drinking.
Yeah.
And so like, when you think
Yeah,
of Japanese, you think of sake
yeah,
and
it's
stuff like
Anglian,
that. But
yeah,
it's like,
he
they
does love
actually did a
his.
pretty good.
Good
Yeah.
beer.
He does love
Yeah.
his IPA, doesn't he? East Anglian. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, he loves his IPA. Yeah. So again, you don't see me drink often on my videos, and it's not a case of that I'm anti people drinking on their videos. Crack on, guys, enjoy your beers. It's just that I'm not a drinker, so it's
Katrina said that Karen had Katrina's dad's uncle made poutine and gave it to her mum. And her mum could hardly walk.
yeah, Virgin. It's that's lethal stuff. It is very, 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 very dodgy. If it's made by somebody that knows what they're doing, awesome. If it isn't, you go blind. Simple as.
I've actually got on my Amazon packing list at the moment. I've got some, the things where you screw on the top of a bottle and it like releases the bubbles when you
Yeah.
get mead. So I'm going to try making my own berries.
You're gonna have
Ooh,
to go
very
make some
meaty.
mead.
Homemade mead.
Yeah.
Nothing like dropping. I do like dropping mead as a druid. That's my drink, my go-to drink for ceremonies, and that is a
Yes,
is a
they don't
bottle of
last
mead.
long, do these bottles of mead?
We use it. We use it in our ceremonies.
So I actually used to love mead.
Oh yeah, bit of honey mead.
So for some reason, it's like my taste has gone quite recently.
A lot of people go off it because it's sweet, or it's so sweet. It's because it's made with honey.
It's not that for me. It's like most of these companies which do it nowadays. It's like
They're
there's
mass
so many
produced.
additives and it's not natural.
It's sort of
No,
flavours and
it's like they add
raspberry
stuff
and
into it. And they say it's all natural. It's not.
No, there are very few people making it properly these days. But again, it's something you can make yourself with a little bit of effort, and it's worth the go.
I sort
I
of
think
like
in
homemade
America it's
wines.
slightly different. It's like as long as you're not planning on selling it.
Yeah,
There's
UK laws on producing your own alcohol are a bit. So we can make beer, we can make wine, we can make cider. You can do it at home for your own use. You're not allowed to sell it by law. You cannot in the UK produce spirits. Okay, you cannot distill. Okay, so but it's something that's been done for many, many years by lots of people.
Oh, it's our fault. So he wouldn't buy his Carling if it wasn't for you. You owe him money,
Who's that?
Benny.
Benny, what's about that? What's that?
He says, I buy myself full Carling every Sunday for your video. So you guys owe me a few quid, so I wouldn't buy them.
Benny, cheers,
Bad,
mate.
bad influence, Benny. Bad influence.
I don't encourage anybody to consume alcohol or to smoke. Okay, simple as that. In fact, actually, join me on my travel into not smoking, into giving up. If you do smoke,
Yeah, I've had that magic mead one.
Switching gears quickly.
Yeah.
Right. You know how the internet's taking control over people's lives nowadays. Like parents blame computer games for violence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've just had a notification on my phone about Netflix coming out with, and they've done a couple of these, like how to become a dictator, how to become a cult leader. They've now come out with one recently of how to become a mob boss.
Oh my God!
It's like if
Really?
you're worried about video games,
Yeah.
like,
And
oh God.
Netflix is doing a series saying how to become a mob boss. Okay, yeah.
Let's talk about the
Sorry, it's
alcohol.
like that just came
Yeah.
out of my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah,
Like,
So
bloody
the
hell.
alcohol. There's a place in New Forest called Burley. It's like it's well known for being
Witchcraft.
witchcraft and things that have amazing shops. There's one shop that does mead and wine, and they do oak leaf wine.
Oh,
So as it goes through there's 4 different sorts for different times
seasons.
of the year,
Yeah.
and oak leaf wine is out of this world.
The
for us.
spring wine is so sweet and delicate.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I've got to get a trip down to New Forest.
If it
Get myself some.
to paraphrase the words of a friend of mine, it was like having angels urinate upon your tongue.
I'd rather they didn't.
Yeah.
Now I know where the term golden ring comes from.
Yeah, yeah.
It's double
It's all right, Roots. I'm on the Dr. Pepper.
There you go. You got a bar to visit.
Yeah. Yeah, Roots line is he bought in his tea urn. Have you got a coffee on that?
Hang on. You'll remember it forever, maybe. Been to a few places in Germany, so hopefully I will.
Looks like pushes tea urn in on trolley. Hey, never knock the man that brings the tea urn. Okay.
What was it that you told me? Coffee. Like, if you take coffee on any exercise, like
Yeah.
good coffee, you'll be remembered by everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as
That's a simple fact. That it's.
You're on. Is it
I used to go on
Grumpy Grumpy
Yeah.
Mule at the moment?
before you could get coffee bags. I was famous for going on exercises and taking enough facilities for me to brew decent coffee. And it's something I learned very quickly. I might not be the most popular man, but at the end of the day, if you can make coffee, everybody loves you. Okay. And it was a way of, especially with the officers, getting around them, because if they knew that, go to Mix Basher, he's going to have a decent brew on. Got friends. Yes, definitely. Now I use, and I've shown it in my video time and time again. Pound Shop, New York coffee, 3 in 1, or you get 2 in 1 if you don't want sugar. 30 of those for a quid. Basically worth having. Brilliant stuff.
I like the 2 in 1 because obviously I don't have
Yeah.
sugar, but they are nice.
Will
One
do.
out Castle.
For good
Ooh.
coffee. Oh, for good
Thanks
meat.
for that, Rachel.
Okay, cheers, Rachel. That gives me somewhere to look at. Again, because like I say, when I'm doing my services and that, I always use mead. Mead is given as an offering to the gods, and it's also used as a celebratory for myself.
I mean,
Okay.
are we going to be doing over Christmas?
Yes, we'll probably do over
With
Christmas. Yeah, we'll do something over Christmas. Why not? We'll do something for you. Do something to celebrate. It's about having a bit of fun, having a natter, having a laugh, having a giggle. Don't take life too seriously. Today's, like I said earlier on today's been quite a somber day for a lot of us, especially our ex-forces personnel or even serving personnel. It's the 11th is it's a day that can be quite emotive. You get through it. Hence this evening I've not gone on too much about it, and we tried to keep it as light as possible this evening because a lot of us have had quite an emotional day. Okay, so we start moving forward, moving on. Doesn't mean that we've
Just one day.
doesn't mean we've forgotten or we've ignored, but it just means got to get on with our lives. And as I think, if anybody's lost anybody, if they were stood in front of you now, they'd say, "Get on with your life and enjoy it, make the most of it, do it for me." Okay, so that's what we try and do, and that's just in case anybody's thinking we're missing what today was about. We're not.
No.
We're doing what our
Certainly
friends would have wanted. We're lifting a glass, we're having a giggle, we're getting on with life. Okay. Yes. So right, plans for this week. So I'd like to get out and do an outside video this week. I know I haven't done one up the woods for a while, but to be honest with you, I went up there last week and it was sopping. And
Yeah,
I mean,
and your card got
Yeah.
thingy as well.
it was absolutely sopping. It's hanging. Yeah, I could do a survival in an extremely damp, drippy, muddy, wet, miserable environment. But two things come to mind when I was up there at the time. There was one, the wildlife that is there is struggling. It's finding it difficult. There's a lot of stuff that should be on the ground available to the wildlife that is rotting, disappearing into the mud very, very quickly. So by me being there, I disrupt them and I make it harder for them to prepare for the winter. Two, I'm just going to get cold, wet, and muddy. What am I going to do up there? I'm not going to do an overnighter up there at the moment for that exact reason. Don't want to disturb wildlife that's trying to build up for the winter. So I've done a couple of videos from home. If you're all desperate to see me get out somewhere, I'll find somewhere else to get out to. Yeah, if it ain't raining, it ain't training. Yeah, bloody weather. And I don't mind the rain so much. I deal with the rain. It's bloody cold with it. That's been the one that's been a bit of a kick in the googlies. That has. There are a couple other little places I could use and get out to.
Yes, you did.
I had to read that twice. Blimey. Cheers,
I know,
Rachel.
he's always whipping it about. And
Yeah. I tell you what, it's mine and I'm proud of it.
isn't it? Hanging it on things and stuff.
Yeah. Does anybody want to see more weapon?
Vehicle to my little friend.
Hello there, my little friend. Yeah. So I can't help it, it's cold.
Children.
That's what every serviceman says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was just trying to think of something to reply to that with, but
You can't.
no, not
No.
in an environment where I don't know who's listening at the other end.
Something in my notes which I wanted to bring up tonight.
Oh yes, in fact, you've overpacked when the forest becomes a nice.
Yeah, especially where the part of the woods does slope down quite a way, doesn't it?
Yes, Mac was able to smash glasses with his chopper.
Oh, no! Oh no!
That was your party
I
trick,
can
wasn't
hear
it?
the sound now. Oh God!
It's amazing what you can do with the Prince Albert. Yeah. And I won't go into too much detail, but we should say
What a party trick!
what a party trick, and to go for one of the most common calibers you can find. So that was impressive, mate.
Who was talking about the going out going to other places before about starting fires and risk assessment?
That was Sticks.
The other thing
Chris.
is, if you write a risk assessment, sorry, just in my notes, because obviously I write notes whenever I come onto these things. For a risk assessment, one of the things which you can do is dig a fire pit. It doesn't have to be big, less than a metre, like 30 by 30 centimetres. Dig a fire pit about, again, 30 centimetres or just into the ground.
Yeah.
They'll like that again because it won't draw heat away from your fire. It'll contain the fire as long as you clear about, again, a metre space away from the fire pit as well, from leaves, dry debris. In this
It's in
weather,
a hole.
you won't
It's
have a
less likely to
problem.
get blown out of
Yeah,
it, isn't it?
it's what we do in the military with our hexi stoves. We dig a small fire pit, put the hexi in the stove into the ground. Not only does that then cover the light source in dark environments, but also it keeps the heat down there as well. And
Keeps
also,
the heat round where you want it.
Yeah, Benny says he's thinking about abandoning Camp 1 because it's so wet and rotted there. That's the thing, though. We've had so much rain, haven't we?
That's one other thing as well. One of the reasons why the British Army is the best at training our guys
it's because we work in wet.
The most
Wet.
miserable environments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like we have literally in some countries the worst environments to train in because it's
Steady
not wet
region,
dry
yeah.
like Norway or like when we go out to California or America. I've worked in Germany as well. That's one of the worst places I've ever trained in because that's cold wet again.
Yeah.
But it's even colder. I've woken up one morning in Germany on an exercise. It's like -3. I've had my clothes underneath my sleeping bag, taken them out, and I've had to put my carbon fibre knuckle gloves to smack the arse of my clothes to go and stag at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Memories, eh?
Yeah.
But it's like the more you train in that environment,
The better you get.
the better you get.
Yeah, yeah.
So my only advice to people that are looking at starting these channels or continuing their channels is to go in those environments which are not pleasant
But
to
this
be
is
in,
what-
to show people
yeah.
this is how I'm doing it.
Well, that's survival training, isn't it? We can all light a fire on a perfect day.
Hank Tuck was just asking. He's got his fireplace time there, and we've had some new ruling come about. They're even starting to
Yeah.
we're starting to get in trouble about having log burners
Right,
in the
so-
UK.
Oh yeah,
Clean air
Clean air.
regulations. So clean air rules, and they vary depending on your council,
It's like
your city,
bonfires. You can
your
only have them at
area.
a certain time as well, can't you? In the garden.
In the UK, they're very restrictive on burning wood. Any wood that is sold as firewood must be below, I think it's 15% moisture.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to sell it. Okay, so that reduces the amount of smoke toxins going into the air. It can be a real pain in the arse. To be honest with you, me personally, I am. Yeah, I like my fire up the woods. But it's a very rural area. Majority of homes and houses up around there burn wood, in wood stoves and
mad.
things like that.
In your head,
so-
now you tweet.
Yeah, you've got to.
the smell of it.
Yeah, we have issues with it here. We have clean air rules and regulations that we're facing, and again, it always makes me giggle because you get these politicians and these people, these councillors, who are usually reasonably well off, so they don't worry about what it costs to heat their home and all the rest of it. Telling other people you can't burn logs, right? Well, if you live in a rural environment, like I did when I was growing up, that was our sole source of heating in the house.
Remember on a
When I was a nipper, the open fire in the living room was the sole source of heating for the entire house. The range in the kitchen, the first one we had, didn't have a back boiler on it, so it couldn't run heating, and that heated the kitchen. And that was it. So one of your jobs as a kid was to source logs and that through the summer, store it, dry it, cut it, prepare it, and keep the house warm in the winter.
I remember Sunday tea, always in the winter, you used to crowd round the open fire with our toasting forks with bread, toasting it. So that was what we had. Can you imagine just sitting there with your toast on a fork in front of a radiator? It'd go stale before it got cooked.
I've been actually quite lucky in the fact that I'm only in my mid-20s right now, so I haven't had to go through the experiences which both of you have had, and some of the people in this live chat have had to go through. So I'm very fortunate. But it's like there have been some of my best memories are of me and my parents sitting around the fire. It's like me and my, without going into too much information, me and my birth dad.
Yeah.
It's like we've sat around the fire practicing guitar.
Yeah.
And having a few drinks, and it's like it's not late at night or anything like that. But it's
No.
been some of my best memories.
It's like Mac saying he comes from the Highlands, Scotland,
Yeah.
and they had one fire in the whole house.
Yeah.
He says it's a different sort of cold,
It is a different sort of cold. And again, see, fire.
Good tougher then.
Fire is our oldest friend. Okay, it's I don't care who you are, where you come from in the world.
Love to see
A
flames
fire
crackling
is a
on fire and
social
changing
thing.
colour.
Okay,
So relaxing.
if you take a field and you have 5,000 people in that field, you light a fire in the centre of that field, they will all gather around the fire. We're drawn to it. Fire is our friend and has been our friend since the beginning of time. One of the first tools that would keep us alive in the cold. It would provide light in the dark. It kept the wild animals at bay. It signalled to people, kept you safe, it kept you secure, it purified your water, it cooked your food. it's an old friend, and inside all of us there is a little bit of that ancient person wanting to be near the fire. We still find fires magical and mystical. And the amount of people I speak to that will sit there and say, "Yeah, I could just sit and watch those flames for hours."
It's the same as
It's,
the old candle magic, or people who are suffering like from depression and things like that.
Yeah.
It's to concentrate on the flames and to watching the flames dancing and that. It's almost like it envelops you, and without actually enveloping you, but that takes away.
That actually brings something back as well, which you and Beth spoke about, which was not only fire, but the smoke that comes from the fire. When you blow out a candle, the smoke that rises,
Yeah.
it can tell you about
Yeah, if it goes
spirits that are
up,
in-
Or if it goes at an angle, it can tell you.
or the way it moves
yeah,
about, it's like it can
about
tell
the-
you about what's not only in the room but about yourself
Yeah.
if you're watching it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like as well. One of the other things is the fact that it's like in so for anyone that doesn't know on this chat, it's like myself in the British Army. I'm Norse pagan. So like, if anyone doesn't know what that is, just think of the Vikings, Odin, Thor, and stuff like that. That's my religion. That's what I practice. And one of the oldest things in our religion is about sitting around the fire with our families talking about the tales of the gods. It's like-
sharing history, sharing
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
sharing legends and tales,
It's one of the closest things that brings us together.
Yeah.
and it's
That's what we
it's an
would have always
inspiration,
done.
isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. You would have finished your work in the fields or in whatever you were doing, and you come back, you'd eat your food. There was no TV. There's nothing like that.
No,
You just sit in front of the fire, and people would tell stories and tales.
Well, all throughout
Of
history, some of the
history.
most revered people and important people in a lot of societies, protected people who could travel from community to community, country to country, were bards.
Yeah.
The storytellers, the carriers of news, the tellers of tales, the spreaders of myths and legends. Okay, these people were seen as so important. As much as people would like to listen to the radio or their Kindle or sit in front of the YouTube and watch other people's stories, the bards of the ancient time, the storytellers, had power. There is a magic in being able to tell a story. I enjoy telling tales. Okay, I don't consider myself a bard. I have met a few people that are bards, and I follow a couple of people that I would consider bards. Mr. Ballon, his YouTube channel, absolutely fantastic. There's a guy that has the ability to tell a story. Okay, it's a very magical and a very very important skill, I'd say. If you have the ability to be a storyteller, tell stories.
Like damn the bard.
Yeah, Dan Bard. They were very very important, and to sit around a fire and listen to somebody tell a tale. Okay, and it doesn't matter which tale it is. It doesn't matter which bit of mythology or how modern or how ancient
Good evening,
it
Paul
is.
Ward.
It's an absolutely wonderful experience. When you and with the Nordic peoples, some of their storytelling, some of their tales telling, was absolutely immense. Their mythology, their stories, and everything has a moral. Everything has a reason. Every tale told has an important reason behind it.
Night, Benny.
Benny, good
Sorry
night,
about
mate.
having to forcing you to buy yourself your Carling.
Yeah,
each
I
Sunday.
am sorry I forced you to consume alcohol, my friend. Physically holding you down, tipping it down your throat. There
Yeah,
you go.
making you get your money out of your wallet. Just
Yeah, I do apologise. Lee Michael, Thor goes into town with a man with a lisp. I am Thor, he said. Guy says, there's no wonder you're Thor, Lee, you're not using a saddle. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, I do like it. Silly jokes, but
Yeah, fire reminders. Yeah. I know there was weapons. World War III, but we fought with sticks and stones.
They break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Quiet.
yeah, fires. Doesn't matter how you do it. Like, I'm just reading, catching up
Yeah.
there. Like Benny was saying, sitting there looking at a burn bin. Yeah, it's very relaxing. It's time to share.
You certainly know when someone's been standing near a fire. Yeah. You smell it, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, I have a very small garden in the middle of a council estate, surrounded by houses. At certain times of the year, we have a small fire out there.
We've got a chimney.
We have a little chimney, and we do our thing. And we sit around there. And over the years, I was with the bike clubs. We'd have days when it was definitely 30 people all sat in the garden, huddled up together with a little fire in the middle, just having a beer, having a laugh, and having a joke. And again, it's very similar to this. It's this sitting, relaxing, enjoying, being sociable, sharing time, sharing thoughts, sharing ideas. It helps us. We're a communal being. Okay, there's something we all crave, and this goes back when I've said before about lone wolf and pack survival. Okay, I'd rather survive as a pack. Okay, everybody's different, and I don't disregard people who say to me they would rather be a lone wolf. But yeah, we crave companionship. We crave community. It's one thing we want. We're a pack animal, and so to share a fire with people. And I've done it before. Now you can be places, you light a fire, and people stop talking. They just all sit in their own thoughts, looking into the fire. Now and again, somebody might say something or pass something on, and you just nod and agree. And think about it. It's quite a spiritual thing to do. Yeah, and enjoy it, Lee. Enjoy burning it in your bin. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's just one of those peaceful things, isn't it? I like getting up the woods. I like lighting a fire in the woods. I sit there sometimes 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, fire going, just me. Sounds of nature around me. One of the few things I wish the tree canopy above the fire pit. I mean, it's quite high, but I wish it was open. It'd be nice to sit there with a fire, be able to look up and see the stars. Bushcraft television, spot on, Rachel. Yeah. Exactly that.
That's actually one thing I do want to do is because in the UK at the moment, it's like you can be miles from the nearest town, but because of the light pollution, you can't see the stars.
No.
It's go up to the Scotland hills. Yeah. That's really gaining place in the UK. I might be wrong. If someone knows some place in the UK where you can see the stars clearly,
some parts of Wales.
Some parts of Wales, Cornwall.
Cornwall, we used to go to Duckpool.
North Beach, coast of Cornwall.
And then you just lay on the...
Yeah.
So I just want to, without any light pollution or anything, just go and see the stars.
See the Milky Way.
With my missus. So we both wanted to do that for a
while. We go to the local one. We go to is Hussey's Lane. Up towards Lincoln.
Well done, Derek.
You go up onto the hills and you look out and start we watched
do like that. That's a good one. 2 men have broken into a local drugstore and they stole all the Viagra. Police are saying, look out for 2 hardened criminals. Hey,
pointing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Hussey's Lane. We got
fire in all cultures. So it doesn't matter which culture it is. Fire is our friend. It's calming and relaxing all the time. We have it under control, and I think that's
we've seen the aurora on Sky.
Yeah, we're on Sky when that happened.
But just recently, they've actually seen the Northern Lights in above Stonehenge, Norfolk, all over the country. So you look up, the sky's greeny pink. Then, yeah.
You never know, do you?
Nope.
You never know. Yes, Galloway. The
Galloway Forest,
darkest place in British Isles. That is Galloway Forest. The Forest of Galloway. It's also our largest natural forest in the United Kingdom.
Just over the, literally over the border.
Over the border, turn left.
Yeah.
So
we've done Dumfries and Galloway. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning area. In fact, I might get back up there again sometime. Might even be worth a video. Go up to the Forest of Galloway. God blimey, Mickey. So Where else can we go to tonight? Where else can we go to? Snow.
Yes, snow.
Snow.
See, what we have to do, because us in the south of England, we don't get much snow
We don't get snow.
at all.
No.
So we end up having to drive out towards Kent. We
Yeah.
actually go snow. Yeah, it's
Yeah, we
drive
don't
in
find
the
the
snow.
snow.
Really?
Yeah.
My dad lives in Kent. Never seen snow around his.
No,
Yeah, we just jump in the car and go.
yeah.
Where's the nearest of?
Yeah.
About 100 miles.
So do people want to see a video in the snow if we get any this year? Say no, please no, please say no.
How about Kaz doing bushcraft, extreme drifting in a mobility scooter
Drifting a mobility scooter
with chains?
up Snowdon. Yeah.
I believe I still got somewhere a fucking Gimli riding around your fucking scooter in the car park.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Up
So
Snowdon.
up Snowdon, up Snowdon in the snow.
Yeah.
Breezy up there.
Just get the
I
train.
haven't done Snowdon in a while, to be honest with you.
We went once at Halloween, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were going up to Wales, and Snowdon was covered in snow then, and Brecon as well.
Brecon.
Oh, where was it?
So much pain and
I was
suffering.
near Snowdon a couple of years back. Capel Coolic, I think it's called.
Fast and furious
It's off-roading.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Willow in the basket.
Oh, that's it. That's the other nightmare I've got coming up. No, God, you guys that are in the UK understand where I come from. It's MOT time.
Oh, God, don't talk to me about that.
Oh, got to get the Land Rover through an MOT. Not that there's too much to worry about.
My last MOT cost me £445.
Oh. Oh. So those of you that are not in the UK, so every year, if you own a motor vehicle in the UK
Christmas
that's over
insurance
3
went up
years
by
old,
£500
every year it has to go for an MOT test. Basically, you have garages all over the UK set up to MOT tests, and the vehicle goes in and they check pretty much everything to do with safety. So the structure of the vehicle, rust, rot, all the bushes, all the bearings, all the joints, all the steering geometry, braking, lighting, suspension, seat belts, all the dash lights, any dash warning lights that come up. If you've got those up when you put it in for the MOT, it's a fail. Condition of the windscreen, windows, doors, door locks, indicators, it all comes into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it
Seatbelts have
basically
got to be
goes in. It's done as a set law fee, i.e. the MOT station can only charge a set amount, and the government offsets anything other than or what over that it's going to come to. And you put the vehicle in, gets tested, and you've got basically 3 options. 1, it passes. Right, great. You get a certificate. It goes on a database. Off you go. Your vehicle's legal for use on the road. 2, it gets advisories, and they have grades of advisories, which is a case of this is getting a bit worn, that's getting a bit worn, you've got to get it repaired ASAP, but you still get a ticket, okay, which means you can still drive the
Good
vehicle.
night, Chris.
Thirdly, you get failure, which is they find something that's wrong,
You can't drive
it
on the road.
fails, and basically you can't drive that vehicle on the road until it's repaired. Now you can take the vehicle away and get it repaired somewhere else, so that's not too much of an issue. If you get a red, okay, that basically means that vehicle cannot leave that MOT station on the road. It has to be put on a trailer or put on a truck and taken away, i.e. it's got a majorly dangerous fault that is going to put anybody else on the road at risk. And every year we face this, and every year it's a bit of a worry. I mean, it goes right down into emissions, you name it. If there's a reason they can turn around and tell you your vehicle is unsafe, it's unsafe. And you have to tick all these boxes. So once a year, every British car owner sort of sits there and goes, how much is this going to cost me this year?
Right, Derek, yes, we can drive out to Europe. We have to have a passport.
Yeah.
Majority of people don't actually use the tunnel. They, more often than not, they use the ferries.
Yeah.
Because when you go on a ferry, you got something to look at.
Yeah.
In the train, you're
Stuck.
just looking at
although it's very, very quick.
Yeah, it's quick.
But again, crossing the channel on a ferry doesn't take long at all.
No.
Yeah, we can drive in Europe, drive all over Europe. There is agreements between the Europeans and us, although we've come out of Europe. When we were in Europe, you basically your UK license was a EU license, but there are agreements. I think our UK driving license is pretty much cleared for everywhere in Europe.
Pretty much. So I lived in Germany for 3 years, and the things which we have to do is what's called a European matrix test.
Yeah.
Which is basically like a European theory test, same as you do in the UK.
Signs, the rules, the regs.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So the things you need is UK driving license, UK matrix test. If you're planning on going to a European country, I suggest doing it because while it's about 50 questions, it's a very good way to
familiarise yourself with the rules and regs.
We have got a rule. If you go to France, you have to have a
the European triangle. So it's
you have a European triangle, but you also have to have a breathalyzer test.
Yeah. You
must carry that in your.
There's quite a few things which you have to do with the French. It's like you have to have a breathalyzer test. You have to have a certain amount of high-vis vest in your safety bag as well.
First aid kit.
Yeah.
Fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher as well.
Which, to be honest with you, it's one of the things it makes me laugh in the UK. You sit there in the UK, we've got none of these rules. But what's wrong with those rules? What's wrong with having a biking at law? You've got a first aid kit.
Glasses.
You've got a fire extinguisher. You've got a warning triangle. You've got some high-vis vests and a torch. It's the sort of things that most of us would have in our vehicle anyhow. And if you buy a modern vehicle, you usually have a warning triangle in the boot anyhow.
I'm trying to buy that online.
Yeah. Well, you can go down to Halfords and get a breathalyzer test quite easily.
Yeah. So that's not something we would normally
breathalyzer test. See, if you're somebody like me who doesn't drink, so that's not an issue. So I buy a breathalyzer test and I throw it in the glove box, not a problem. If I was to have a drink, come out and think to myself, blimey, have I? Probably wouldn't drive anyhow. If I thought I need to breathalyze myself, I think at that point I'll be thinking whether I pass or fail the breathalyzer. I don't think I ought to be driving.
But yes, you are hoping to go Camden Snow. Get it.
Yeah.
What some people actually don't realise as well is if you're taking certain types of medication in the UK, you have to register what medications you're taking for DVLA. What some people, and I believe this in America as well, some medications have certain chemicals or whatever that come up in a top screen that say that you are incapacitated. Yeah. So just be careful. Make sure that whatever medication you're taking doesn't show up as you are like. DVLA will tell you what you can and can't drive anyway, but they might say some medication, yes, you're okay to drive, but in a top screen it might come up as you've been drinking when you haven't.
And that is just a reminder for me, guys. Thoughts and prayers to Phil and Tracy. Phil, who's normally on here with his wife Tracy, they join us quite regularly. Tracy's been rushed into hospital this week. She's had an issue with some medication she's taken that's caused her immune system to attack her body. She's very, very ill. So if you've got a quiet moment, if you've got a quiet moment before you hit the sack tonight, just a little prayer for Tracy to get better. I've been going over and seeing Phil every morning, just making sure he's all right. They've had a rough old year this year, the pair of them. What with Phil having a bleed on the brain earlier in the year. Now Tracy being ill. Touch wood, it'll all come good. But my thoughts and prayers go out to them. And Tracy, if you're in hospital watching this, get well soon, my love.
Behave yourself.
We're missing you, and I need you to make another cake. Right? Don't use the hospital just as an excuse for not making cake. If I have to bring the ingredients up there, I will. So that's that. Right, guys, looking at it, we're 1 hour and 48 minutes into our chat tonight. We'll give it another 10 minutes. We'll call it quits about 2 hours. hopefully you've enjoyed this evening. It's been a bit of a ramble, I do admit, and I do apologise about that. Next week we'll be back to normal procedures.
If there's anything normal in this house.
There you go. So yes, all meds and weed are now the same as liquor here. So that's in the States.
Yeah, we watched a thing on YouTube about Canada where they didn't have they've
Cool,
got no
blimey,
rules
yeah.
now, and any drug is legal, and the people that it's awful.
Yeah. Deregulation is
You got
deregulation.
laser on your eyes tomorrow, Rachel. You got a blood work stuff.
Yeah, I've got blood works coming up. Just had a lung X-ray. Oh, Rachel, laser on eyes.
Yeah.
Right. So, what can I say about that from my own experience? Right. So these things here haven't always been this good. Years ago, I had an issue that developed in my mid-30s where I become extremely long-sighted in one eye and extremely short-sighted in the other. So my glasses, bear in mind glasses technology then, was one big thick lens one side, one skinny lens the other side, and they perfectly sat like that. And it got worse and worse and worse. And I was one of the first guys within the MOD to be allowed to go and have laser eye surgery, because at the time the MOD was really twitchy about it. They weren't happy. But I got permission to go and get my eyes lasered, and it was brilliant. Sweetheart, fantastic. I had the laser eye surgery on both eyes, and basically what it did was it corrected my vision absolutely perfectly. For 10 years of perfect vision. Absolutely perfect. I literally woke up the following morning and for the first time in years looked straight at the alarm clock and could read it. It was amazing. 10 years in, I started to get a normal deterioration, but what it did, both my eyes are deteriorating the same. So I don't have that stigma anymore. And yes, now, a good 15 years later, I do require reading glasses and I do require driving glasses. But I can get by like that. Whereas in my 30s, if I took my glasses off, that was it. I was screwed. My brain could not adjust the vision for me to see. So laser eye surgery, fantastic. And nothing to worry about. Absolutely brilliant. You got your screening on the 28th. Good luck, mate. Hope it's all good. I just basically they wanted an X-ray of my lungs and some blood works done. Nothing to worry about too much. Hopefully there. Again, another reason for giving these things up. Oh, sweetheart. Projectile explosion destroyed the main artery behind my left eye. Not good at all. Not good at all, Rachel. Well, hopefully your laser surgery is going to sort your problems out. Okay, I'm a big optimist with that because it worked so well for me. It really did. It was like a miracle, really, to be honest with you. And I don't think I'd be where I am today if I was unable to have that surgery when I did. I think my eyesight would have deteriorated to the point of probably almost being blind now, which has always been a fear for me. My father suffered with retinitis pigmentosa, so I watched his eyesight deteriorate to almost nothing as he got older and older and older, and it always scared the willies out of me. I don't mind the fact that I'm going deaf, but I want my eyes. Puppy's sitting out the hallway now, just outside the room.
I was trying to encourage him in so I can show him to meet people again.
Come on, Willow.
Grab him.
Yeah.
Tommy's now chasing
Tommy's
around
now
the room.
chasing the puppy, trying to pick him up because
He's doing his when he's daft.
no repair possible. Sweetheart, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's okay.
That's all right.
That's not news. Well, we're obviously managing, or you've adapted, and you've got a good eye. Rachel, anything we can ever do to help? That's the reason you were retired.
Got him.
And yeah, you probably had so much more to give.
There you go, mate. Say hello to your people. Willow. Willow.
There you go, Willow. Yeah. So how you've, Rachel, if you, okay, I'll put this, that sounded creepy. Don't wish to sound creepy. Adapt and overcome, definitely Rachel. If there's ever anything I can do to help, yeah, get hold of us. Don't feel alone. You're part of this community. You're one of our sisters. Okay, so if ever anything Mealcas can do to help, just give us a holler. Okay.
Yeah, what I say?
I'm hoping to set up some sort of camp next year, and I'm also hoping to travel a little bit around the UK, meet a few of you. Okay, if all goes well, maybe even over to the States. Because I'd love to put faces to all these names and all you guys. So yeah, we might be able to meet up next year. The Willow Fan Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our
Yay.
mascot. Yeah.
Put a tongue out.
Huff, 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 huff. Mwah. Yeah.
Remember, he's eating Forbes now.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. You're a survivor. We are. Yeah. And that's again, that's where it all comes in, sweetheart. We're all survivors. We'll face our disasters and our problems in life and health issues and so on. So it's getting up, isn't it? Getting up in the morning and going, do you know what? I'm still here. Let's push on with this. Let's take the next step. Okay. So yeah, and you got it in you. So, and I do like your emblem. Yeah, I like your little badge there. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's cool. What?
He's barking in my ear.
What? Grumpy little dog. That's but yeah, anything we can do, anything we can do. And again, get out indoors. Yeah, you can. And again, Rachel.
You know, he's emailed. You can get a number off of that.
Rachel, if you ever. Oh,
Thanks.
sorry about that.
You dodgy coin.
Right, that's my email there, Rachel. That's my private email. I'll make it public to everybody. But if you want to message me, you need to chat. You want to.
Then you can give.
You want to swap phone numbers or something, and you want to have a chat to us. Yeah, you can do. It's not a problem. Hey, I get up every morning. I do the exact same thing. I sit there and I go, right. Well, so who's on my list that I haven't pissed off?
Who's getting it today?
Who's getting it today? Yeah, one foot in front of the other. Put your head down. Try and laugh at it all, and try and keep yourself going. Okay.
It's like me first thing in the morning of having a coffee. Avoid me like the plague because, yes, if I have too many coffees, I'm like a.
And it's what can you say about life? Life is what it is, isn't it? It's what you make of it. It's how you fight your battles, and we all have battles to fight. And I'm always hearing from people how their battles are worse than others. It's not. Everybody's battle is their own battle, and it's all's a fight to go on. It's just try and keep your head up, keep smiling. You know,
it's okay to say you're own. You know, you matter,
and it's you do matter. Everybody, you all
everyone
matter.
says, "Oh, there's people far worse off than me," but it's you that's hurting, and at that moment, it's
yeah.
No,
Katrina. Sleep well, sweetheart. Give a little hug from me, and give your old man a slap round the ear off.
Yes, remember,
exactly that, Mac.
Yeah, we did that earlier.
Yeah, we did a little bit for that this morning.
Dave Howells.
There have been many, and we'll have people that are their thoughts on this day, and we have to remember them. Yeah. It's a hard one, isn't it? It's a hard one. And a good morning is when you wake up in the afternoon. Well said, Lee. I tend to wake up every morning, open one eye and go, I'm still here. Bonus. It's another day. I'm still breathing. I'm still here. And then I look around, Kaz is there, and I realise how lucky I am. Good sentiment,
sisters.
Sam. Good sentiment, mate. Yeah. Good sentiment. Yes. What should I say before we go then? Right. Just Remembrance Sunday. Give me a moment to put my druid head on.
I could bring up that crying that loud.
Okay. So,
I'm just going to find it.
in the Norse belief system, there is a song and a prayer. And it has a simple line in it. Who will sing for me? And who will tell my story? Okay. The only thing that we leave behind when we go is the memory of us. It is the duty of the living to carry the memories of the fallen, to share their stories, and to remember them with love, smile, and affection. It is also the duty of the living to live their life in a manner that their friends and their colleagues, and their family and the fallen and those that have gone before them would have wanted them to lead their lives. Spend every day you can in joy and happiness, and be grateful for all you have. And don't be ashamed of taking the odd moment through that day to share a thought for them. Okay, no shame in it. I often talk to friends that I've lost. I often talk to people that have gone before. I sometimes ask them questions. I sometimes think to myself, what would you have done? Come on, mate, help me out. You know? I sometimes sit there smiling at things and thinking, he'd have loved that. I'd have made him laugh. Okay? And when I do that, I see their faces smiling in front of me. Sometimes see them laughing in front of me. And sometimes I felt like I've heard their voices saying, Nicky, do it like this. Okay? They don't leave us. They stay with us in here for the rest of our days. So sing your friends' stories. Tell their tales. And carry them in your hearts with pride and love for the rest of your days. That's my thoughts on these things. Take it easy, guys. Have a great week. Have your adventures. Enjoy yourself. Okay?
Is it okay to read something out?
Hey?
Oh.
Yeah.
This was This poem was written by a 14-year-old called Joshua Dyer. He was asked at school to write a poem for Remembrance Day. An hour later, he produced this. It's called 1,000 Men Are Walking. 1,000 men are walking side by side, singing songs from home, the spirit as their guide. They walk towards the light, my lord. They walk towards the sun. They smoke and laugh and smile together, no foes to outrun. These men live on forever in the hearts of those they saved, a nation truly grateful for the path of peace they paved. They march as friends and comrades. They do not march for war. Step closer till salvation, a tranquil, steady call. The meadows lit with golden beams, a beacon for the brave. The emerald grass untrampled, a reward for what they gave. They dream of those they left behind, and know they dream of them. Forever in those poppy fields, there walks 1,000 men. And that's Joshua in 2019, age 14, from Devon.
Cracking. Guys, I'll leave it there for tonight. Love those you do. Forgive those you don't. May peace and light be upon you all. Sleep well. Have fun. Have your adventures. And above all, be grateful and enjoy your lives. I shall now sit back here and let you guys No problem, Rob. No problem at all, my friend. Yeah, great words. From a 14-year-old as well.
Yeah.
Well written. I hope he doesn't give up writing. As we said earlier on, he's got the ability to be a bard, tell the stories. Yes, take care, have fun, have your adventures, stay safe, be good. Yeah, look after yourselves. Don't get too down. Okay.
We'll see you in the
another
pub
day.
next week.
We'll see you in the pub next week. There'll be a couple of videos up this week. Okay. Usual rules apply. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. Okay. We're getting towards 1,000 subscribers. Won't be long, and I'll be able to give away these items. And then,
We'll think about the next lot.
God dear. So now, bright blessings be upon you all. Good night, guys. Take
night.
care.
Take it easy.
This is Mick, Kaz, Willow,
Tommy.
Jace, Matt, Tommy, Hampshire Outdoors Survival, and the Hampshire Archives wishing you all well. Stay safe. Mickey out.